All right, that was rough. It's 10 in the morning. What do you want from us?
I know. Hey, I don't think it's that bad.
All right, we
So,
didn't make it last night. I don't know what happened,
well,
but
I
Tim
think
and
we
I
wanted to try something different. We wanted to sleep on it and collect our thoughts.
and
But no, it
see
was a
who's.
good show last night. I think overall, I enjoyed it.
I
Um,
I had a great time. I mean, Ghost, fantastic. Of course, that's the opener. I mean, it might seem obvious, but it's
I
fair.
wasn't expecting it from Tab, honestly, but I have been listening to a lot of Ghosts, and it was interesting starting there because, like, with
Oh,
the
that's
Ghost
right. You
bracket and
got the
stuff,
Ghost bracket, right?
I've listened to probably 32 different versions of Ghosts multiple times this month, and then like to hear Tab come out, I was like, yeah,
Does that not ruin it for you?
I mean, it is kind of like one of the first thoughts is like, what do I want to hear at a Tab show? Like from a pretentious fan point of view,
Right.
like not like it's ultimately up
Right.
to Trey, it's his band, but like
Right.
when I go, like I thought the Curly's Call,
Right.
or Mozambique, or not everything's right, Alive Again, like the Tab songs. That's what I want to see, right, with the
I'm with
horns and
you.
the groove
That
and
was
like
my issue this summer, that it was so much of the Fish stuff. And the second song we got, Set Your Soul Free, which is that a Fish song or is that a Tab song?
I think
It's a
that
Fish song in my head
I think
because
it's a
Fish
Fish
owns it.
song that's more like Trey-ish, but I don't know. Like both of them were performed well. The whole first set, I think, ran
Short.
clean but short. There was not a lot of
Yeah,
exploratory
13
jams.
songs in an hour and 10 in 70 minutes. So we're
Yeah,
hitting 6 minutes a song, like you said before. We got
yeah.
Mozambique. We got Hey Stranger. Love is what. Well, Mozambique is a Tab song. I think Hey Stranger and Love is What You Are, Love is What We are Trey solo songs. Weren't they on that Mercy album?
Yeah.
And
I
then we
guess
got
I guess it's good as like an interlude, right? Like to break up things, but
right.
again, it's not really my highlight from like the
We
show.
skipped 46 Days in Camel Walk, which when you
You are
say
all over the
Fish,
place
they're
this
huge.
morning.
Right. Well, but I'm saying I jumped ahead, but to go back, I skipped the 46 Days in Camel Walk because they pale in comparison to what Fish does with them. At least
Yes,
in this tour.
but I will say that Camel Walk was very tight. And sometimes, and not that this is a bad thing, but sometimes when Fish plays it, it gets a little loosey goosey.
Wonky.
Yeah, which you would almost say it was on purpose, right? Because it has a little more feel or touch to it. Some
Different
people
arrangement
describe it
with
as
Trey
touch,
Band, right?
but like with Trey Band, it was very like sharp and tight and felt really good for that song.
Right.
Yeah, but 46 Days has become such a monster jam vehicle. Not become, it's always been a monster jam vehicle for Fish. So that's like it's kind of weird to hear in
Why
like
choose
that
that
different
one
context. Yeah,
when
I
there's
don't
so
know.
much? But so to jump back ahead, Alive Again, boom. Now we're in Tab territory. This
And
is
and
what
it
I'm
was
showing up for.
glorious. And it was so much fun.
It might have been my highlight of the set, but probably the highlight is the Alive Again Magilla came in review would be my highlight of that first set.
I always called it Magia, but I guess it is Magilla.
Well, I call it Magilla because of Magilla Gorilla. Do you
Is that
remember
what
this
it's
cartoon?
is that what it's based off of?
I have no idea, but there was a cartoon called Magilla Gorilla. There was a Hanna-Barbera in the late 60s. He was a big purple gorilla.
Oh yeah, that sounds familiar. I'll have to look that
Yes.
up.
Yeah, look it up. But that's what I think in my head. I have no idea. Isn't it a Page song though? I think Page
I
has the
think it's like
writing
it's not
credit.
like oh man, we should have a
It's on
producer to look at
Nectar.
this shit.
It's on Picture and Nectar.
Yeah, I always thought it was like a proper you know,
Then
like
the other
common
one,
use type
right?
song.
No, the other one on that album that's the common use song is Manteca.
Oh yeah.
They're both on the same album. Well, you look that up, and then we got Pigtail, which is fun. I think that's Ciro's, spot.
Yeah.
Doesn't he use some weird ass percussion for that thing?
Yeah, I like it, but mostly for that reason.
Right. It's a novelty tune. And Fish are good at doing Fish, and Trey are good at doing novelty tunes. Like
So
go
I
Empress.
don't have a pronunciation, but the meaning of it's from Yiddish and it means large, lengthy, or elaborate. So I don't see anything else about other songs, so I'm assuming it's original, but it's
Right.
based on a Yiddish word
Yiddish word, which makes sense.
and it
Um,
is fairly elaborate musically.
I
So
I think that they called this Gorilla Magilla because it rhymed.
yeah, I'd imagine so. You tune in to Wook Plus for these hot takes.
And then we ended up in Sand, which
Yeah,
is
and I actually okay, so now I'm gonna go back on everything I
yeah.
just said before. I loved this sand. I loved it. Dez sounded so good. He was really back in the mix. Like I would have liked him more, but his tone and his feel was just
Well,
spot on. It was slower, a little darker. It
and they mixed
was
for the stream.
I
What the fuck?
I know those assholes.
Isn't Sand
Wait, we
though?
were listening to the stream, and it
I don't
wasn't
know. Isn't Sand was on Farmhouse, I believe, but originally it was a Trey tune. It was from the trio in
all of
'99.
Farmhouse. All of Farmhouse
A
was
lot of
Trey
it, right?
tuned.
Yeah,
Well,
the
most
first
of it,
two,
yeah.
right? Yeah. But Sand
Um,
was fantastic. I mean, Sand, I think, is just for me. I've talked about this before. The issue becomes everyone is so good that you really have to like put on a half gallon of mustard up on that.
yeah,
You
we
know,
got how many sands did we get in 2022? I think
7. Well, we got
uh,
7 with fish at least, or 8.
yeah, a lot. So, but I think that almost made it work better for me last night because unlike the other ones, like this one, I was excited to hear,
The horns
Tab
on it,
doing
right?
sands. Um,
No covers. We'll talk about that in a second, which I find interesting with Tab. Then we had our set break, and at set break, we'd like to say make sure that you go down and like and subscribe. Hit that little bell, you'll get all your notifications. Wednesday night, 9 Eastern for Live. We are going to have Houseplant on, fantastic band out of Louisville, and they have a connection with Goose that we're going to get into. I think we're going to have the whole band on, rotating in and out of a single screen, Tim. So
that's
that's
gonna
going to
be
be interesting.
chaos.
Yeah, well, we did that with Lady Couch. Remember, we
Yeah,
ended up
yeah, it
getting
was
the whole band
awesome.
on in the end. We got to ask everyone one question and cycle them through, and
We should
it
cycle us too. Like we pair off and it'd be like a lightning round. Like you
should
take one
cycle
person,
us
I take one person.
cycle us out the back door.
That'd be fun as shit. Um,
All right, so then we have
cool.
set 2. You want to
Yeah,
take it off?
yeah, dude. Money, Love, and Change is one of these songs that I don't think about. Like just like it's not a song that pops in my head, but every time I hear it, I fucking dig it
You're
and
like,
I love it.
yes.
Right. And like it almost like builds up in you. You're like, oh yeah, yeah. And then when the I don't know, I guess it's the pre-verse going into the chorus. It's just like I don't know. I really, really like that song. And I think this was a perfect way to start the second set. And I don't know, spoiler alerts, but I feel like the second set was far superior than the
Superior.
first set. And I think this
Yeah,
set it up in a really great way.
Money, Love, and Change out the box is just watching the horn section. I
They
mean, they're
sounded
all
so good,
dancing.
dude. Natalie was on point
Right.
last night.
It's the perfect, I want to call, polished Trey band. They've been doing it. I mean, he's been, what, he said something last night about playing with Jen for 23 years. I mean, that song is in her DNA as much as it is in his.
Yeah. Yeah, they're great.
So, and then we get another Trey band tune.
Right, and this with the percussion and the big like New Orleans street bands mixed with like Broadway Trey. Like I just love this amalgamation of music right here. I
It's
think
fantastic.
it's such a great way to start. And I think this was my personal highlight
Wow,
of the night.
nice.
Really top notch. Cool, interesting lyrics too. I mean, that's the one thing about a lot of Trey's music is and it's weird. I'm not the guy that usually talks about lyrics, but a lot of those songs I find are really interesting musically or lyrically.
The ones that did not migrate to Fish, I love most of those lyrics, which is funny because like
I wonder why that is.
everything's right migrated to Fish, but well, what it is for me is a lot of those other songs that did migrate, you get a story. Everything's right, you get the parable without the story. It's everything's right. They just lay it out there. When you hear, like Came in Review, you're like, what is the tequila about? Who's Louise? It's this story that they sketch out but don't give you, and that's what engages me as a listener.
Came in Review is a perfect example of like really building a whole environment with the lyrics and the music, like, and actually kind of like Curly's Call too. It's like it puts you into this space between the lyrics and the story and the music. It's like a very great world building
Yeah.
experience. Whereas sometimes this goes back to like the Rift conversation about like Way, it doesn't create that because it's so abstract and weird, which I think there's this place for. I like where it could just be this abstract, weird art piece, but I forget sometimes until you listen to Tab, this whole world building
Right.
aspect of the music.
Right. Exactly.
And maybe that's
Exactly.
partially the horns and the percussion too. It'd be interesting. I would hate for Fish to tour with like percussion, but I wouldn't mind seeing it for like one night, just out of like curiosity, like to see
Or
Fishman.
do a run. You
Yeah.
do a 12-show run or something like that, and you have a
Or no,
horn
even like a
section and
4
percussion.
set. I don't think I want
Right.
12, but like a 4-night run with the horns
Right.
and percussion.
Right.
That'd be cool.
It would be, or even for one set. You have a set
Just
of
one
regular
song. All
sets.
right, we're back to no.
All right, so then we get Roll Like a River, which sounds like it belongs on that Bob Weir Cowboy album from a few years back. It's very un-Trey to me, and
We didn't
it's
talk about
cool.
Everything's Right though, which is
Okay, let's talk about Everything's Right.
no. It's interesting that we didn't because it was the longest jam of the night, and
That's what it is. Again, it's sand. It's like sand. It's
right.
everything right. Of course, it's going to be the longest jam of the night, unless they
Doesn't
had
utilize
dancing girls
Tab,
come
though.
out. Right.
Okay.
I mean, the one I saw at the Anthem last year was like 25 minutes, and that's not even the song I think of from that show as being the highlight,
Yeah, it is a girthy but not always memorable jam.
Right. It isn't always about the length.
Yeah,
That's
so Roll Like a River was your Bob Dylan.
Bob Weir song. Yes.
Oh, Bob Weir, yes. One of those Bobs.
Right. And then Oscillate is somewhat saved for me by the horns. Where are you on Oscillate?
Oscillate?
Oscillate.
They actually enunciate that very well. Oscillate. So I love the song to begin with, and I love it more with horns. It is enhanced with this arrangement and this mixture of instruments.
I'm with you.
Yeah. Night Speaks to a Woman. Another classic Tab.
I have this vision of Natalie Cressman. I mean, when I hear that song, I just see her because she starts dancing and grooving with, and then she goes over, picks the trombone up. And, it's just it's like her theme song, I guess. I don't know. If she walked onto Kimmel, they should play that for
her. I always get the backup vocal stuck in my head. There's like one of the most earwormy things. It's like Night Speaks, like the real high, like
yeah.
Oh my God, so good.
They're fantastic. I would love, I tweeted this last night, I would love to hear those two ladies sing Babylon Sisters.
Yeah.
Shake it. I don't know. The Steely Dan girls.
Man, we got to just clip out all the times you sing on air and just put together like a reel. What are you guys going to do for credits? We're just going to have Kevin sing.
God, people will be dropping like flies. And then we get another Trey song, Shine. Yeah, which I'm a fan of. It's cool.
Yeah, and a good spot for it. I mean, I don't think it was a highlight or anything, but it was fun.
It functioned as what it was. And then they did the closeout jam of the Twist Tuesday. Twist, I've always found, is the weirdest song that Trey chooses to do with Tab. That's a Fish song.
Yeah, but it's from that same time period, right?
Definitely.
I don't know. I really like Twist. I think it's an interesting song.
Wasn't that added though, like recently? Like it wasn't like First Tube that Trey Band has always done. It seems to me the Twist started at some point much later, when there was this pattern of adding a bunch of Fish tunes to Trey's set list as opposed to it being all just Trey stuff.
Yeah. Trying to
see what
trying to look it up and do some of that shit at the same time, but
Fishnet probably isn't good for that because it doesn't differentiate between Trey and Fish. You have to like go down the list. You can't just, I think
so. Maybe I'll just speak anecdotally without any backing, but I just feel like I just feel like because I haven't seen a ton of Tab, right? I catch it here and there, but I feel like its placement with like Farmhouse and its relation to like First Tube and Sand and like some of those other songs that have been so prominent with Tab that I feel like it to me it doesn't feel strange being there. Um Musically though, it is a little bit weirder like of a fit and transition into it, but
I think why Twist works so well for me with Fish is just Mike and Trey playing off each other
yeah.
with it more than anything. It just belongs in that weird angsty kind of
Has Dez
thing.
always been that far back? He
I
felt
don't
really
know.
kind of like out of the frame.
He
Like
did.
musically in the mix, they had him down, and in the shot for the
Uh,
webcast, they were really focused on the percussion, like the drums, the percussion, and the horns. But
right.
um,
He was like, let's hide behind the chainsaw.
yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like I did just when you were
Maybe he
talking about
doesn't like
Micah.
right. Maybe he doesn't like the spotlight. Maybe he said, "Hey, when you do the lighting, I don't need to be up." Because when they called his name, when Trey called his name, he was playing and he went and just like put
Yeah.
his head back down. He's one of those guys, who's I'm here to work. I don't need the spotlight on me.
Well, I gotta say, when we were talking to him, that was one of those things he gets from his dad. That he's just like, this is my job. I'm here. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna deliver, right? But like, I'm not. He's
I'm,
not like. Doesn't come across at least. I mean, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but it doesn't come across as like this like egotistical rock star type of
no,
guy.
you're
Like,
there to collect a check.
yeah, well, and
I
I
mean,
think
ultimately,
he
right,
enjoys the music and the
right,
experience too. But he's very very professional about it.
right. Which is
Uh,
what you want. That's why Trey hired him. Trey
I think
wants
that's what Trey
professional
looks
people.
for.
Yeah,
That's what you
definitely.
get. That's a feel you get from the whole band,
Hmm.
right? It's like a really like,
They
um,
know their part. They show up ready to play. They need a run through maybe one time.
yeah.
Make sure everybody's in the same place, and boom, let's do it.
I played in a house band once that did like pits, like a pit orchestra type thing, and it was half amateurs and half professionals. It was when I was young. It was just like this thing, like they like
Right.
audition or whatever. And you could tell like the amateur musicians that came in and were like all talking and bullshitting and like fidgeting, and then the professional musicians would come in just 5 minutes earlier, play a couple notes, tune, and just sit there, and they were just like the presence and like it's so different like from the people that are like, and these are some top caliber musicians. I mean, I guess all of them are, but
Oh, right. Yeah.
it's just
So
I love it. I love the whole feel that he does, like he brings together with his musicians. And they
mhm.
all know each other too, and they're a very tight knit group from that music scene. So
All right. And
you
then we got the Tuesday. I'm a fan of Tuesday. I have no issue with that. I have no issue with Friday. I will listen to those songs anytime they want to play them.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
It's hard to hate Tuesday.
it is either one of them. Friday either. Which is weird because it was Friday and they played Tuesday. Good for you. He's
They're
not
just
doing like
fucking with
Bob
you.
Weir and playing Friday because it's Friday,
Yeah, and then
Saturday night because it's Saturday night. That was the
closed out the
set.
show. That
And
was
we
the
get
set.
Trey's been doing the acoustic tunes coming out for the encore. Bottom, I think works. Chalk Dust is weird acoustic, and Moore had a weird thing happen. But so where are you on the three of them?
Eh.
Moore was in the wrong key, which was funny that he sang it in the wrong key. He doesn't even know what he wrote it as. And then we went back and did it again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not super high on the acoustic at the end of a show like that. I think when you go to an acoustic show, it's one thing. I just,
I thought it
I,
was weird at the Met when they did it last fall.
yeah,
But I actually got down onto the floor. The
of
one
course you did.
section, there's like a no, no. Of course I did. And then
Of course you did.
first tube, which you expect. And good for you. I will take the first tube any night of the week.
Yeah, you will. Yeah, you
Rockstar.
will.
Rockstar Trey.
Listen, so I think overall, a pretty dang good show, right? Not
Yeah.
like the best show, blow you away, but definitely enjoyable. I
Solid first night
I
out of
bet the
two.
people that are out there had a fucking blast. It was sold
Right.
out really fast.
You enjoy my blog, asked what cover you would want to hear them do. So real quick, what's that before we're out of here?
What cover? The letter.
Ooh.
I think that would be like the Cocker version. My
Yeah.
baby wrote me a letter. Have they
Yeah.
played that? I don't know if they have.
That's never crossed my radar. If they did, that would be fantastic. That's a great call. I love that.
Do you have one in mind?
Beginnings by Chicago.
Oh, that would be dope.
With
Honestly, any Chicago would be
any
great.
Chicago tune, but Beginnings, just because of the lyric, is a Trey Toley lyric when he was 4 years old. It was
You know what they should do, since we don't have fish for Halloween? They should do a Tab costume set.
They should.
That would be really cool.
I think that's what his question was originally, but I just threw out one cover because I don't see. What I was going to say is, Trey, you can play the outro music.
Okay.
Trey, no covers. He doesn't do covers.
Well, maybe tonight will be all covers. All right, thanks,
so
guys.
Tomorrow morning or tonight?
Stay tuned. We'll let you know. Check out that on Twitter. I'll see you guys next time.